Hi there, I'm Katie Wagner. Welcome to Social Media Help Desk, the time every week when we get together to talk about what's changed in social media and what's working for our clients, and some tips that we can share with you about how to do your social media better. I'm here today with our content editor, Adam.
Hello.
And content editor, Kim.
Hi.
And we're actually coming to you from KWSM Atlanta. So welcome all you East Coast people who are joining in. Let's start with the social media news of the week, as we do every week at this time. And the first story is about Snapchat. And Snapchat is launching this thing they call Solutions in a Snap. And Solutions, do you know this? It's a series of videos about how to make the platform perform better for your business. Videos about how to use advertising, how to do content better, like how to get the best bang for your buck on Snapchat. And I think one of the reasons they're launching this is because Snapchat is a really young platform, right? It's typically younger than most of the other social media channels, and Snapchat's trying to get businesses to use it. They understand that on social media, business or marketing use is a big piece of the pie.
Well, their ad response, they actually have very, very high viewing of ads. So they're one of the most successful when people are scrolling through because they do pop those ads in between the stories. So it makes sense. They just have never really gotten into how to make themselves relevant like Facebook or Instagram.
Right, but they're catching up, or trying to catch up.
Yes.
But why is that? Why do you think they have such good response on the ads? I have a theory, but let's hear yours.
I feel like it's because of the way that they place them between stories. So I'm sure that, when you look through your friend's stories on Snapchat and you're clicking through, it will interrupt you with an ad every 2 people that you go through. So of course you end up watching it, or you end up clicking.
Because you don't want to miss what's next.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a very sneaky way of doing it, but a very effective way.
Now, do you think more people click on ads on Snapchat or just view the ads?
I would imagine, viewing we know is high. I would imagine that lots of us misclick ads. I've certainly accidentally clicked them before when trying to move past them or something like that. So it'd be tough to judge how effective they are since we can't obviously see those numbers. But I think a lot of it comes to people accidentally clicking in more than...
I also think that demographic is consumers, right? They like to click on things. They like to check things out. They're shoppers. Because it's the young, what's the one after millennial? Gen Y, I guess. So young millennials, Gen Y, that's a shopping demographic, and it's a highly coveted demographic for lots of businesses. So I think Snapchat's trying to capitalize on that and get more businesses using the platform to reach those people, and they're going to help us out.
And apps do exceptionally well in there. Lots of people advertise, click here and download from the iTunes store. Things like that. So there's a lot of service ads in there as opposed to click here, go to our site, go into our cart, but a lot of things that are just real one click, trying to get people over to our website to read stories, etc. So they do it pretty effectively.
All right, well, good. Good, our second story is from Instagram, and Instagram, you guys, has launched voice messaging. So it's always had direct messages, right, where you can send somebody a private message on Instagram, and now you can send them a private voicemail. I don't know how I feel about that. Would you do that, Adam?
I highly doubt it.
I don't think I would either, because you can send videos which have audio in them.
Yeah.
If you want to send it to someone personally. So I don't know that I would actually just send a voice message.
What if I'm like out of the gym and need to just, you can't see me because I'm sweaty, but I just need to send a voice message?
I guess so, but I guess for me, I wouldn't use Instagram for that.
Yeah, you know what I do in that case? I text them.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's be honest, a lot of people are using Instagram at the gym, so they would probably still just do the video
Yeah.
stories
You're
while
right.
they're at the gym.
You're right,
So,
because you got to see my mirror selfie.
yes, yeah. I can't imagine that there's a huge demand for it.
I know.
And it seems very strange since so much content is based in video to sort of be stepping back. Maybe it will be something where people talk to businesses and they just ask quick questions, or instead of trying to type something out, they can just leave a voice message that way. There could be some interesting functionality. I just don't feel like typical users are going to be jumping out there. I mean, none of us like.
Well, we'll see, right?
Yeah, and millennials hate talking on the phone anyway. So we don't call people. Why do we make voice messages?
That's
well, what
true.
about also podcasts? There are a lot of podcasts, and they're growing on a daily basis. Maybe that's their way of putting like a little snippet in there, since they wouldn't technically have video. It could be something that maybe they would use, but I think it'd be interesting.
I think they're just trying to make it like different than other social media channels, right? And it seems that because Instagram's on your phone, it's more of a talking platform because it's only on your phone. You have your phone there to leave a voicemail. But anyway, they're going to let you send voicemails through the direct messaging feature, and the time limit is 1 minute. So if you're a long-winded voicemail leaver, you probably don't want to use Instagram.
It reminds me a lot of Facebook. We were probably 5-6 years ago when Messenger started becoming a thing. They started putting in voice chat and video chat, and it seems like Instagram, since it's so popular and still growing, that they're trying to make it more like Facebook in that way.
Yeah, I think that's true. And Facebook Messenger is huge now.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So it caught on, and this probably will too.
Yeah.
And I think too, you mentioned they're becoming the same. It's because Facebook owns Instagram, right? And so, do you remember, when was it? A couple of months ago, maybe a little longer, that the Instagram founders actually left the company?
Yes.
And people speculated that it was because Facebook was kind of taking over and making Instagram so much like Facebook. And the Instagram guys were like, forget it, we're out of here. So they're kind of morphing into each other, right? So we'll see how that one goes. A lot of wait and see news today. The next one is also a wait and see for me, but I think this one has the chance to be really, really popular, and it's Facebook launching collection sharing. So Facebook's going to allow you to create a collection of something. Think like things I want for my birthday, or holiday recipes I'm going to make at Christmas dinner, or places I want to go on vacation. Like, you can collect information and you can send this collection to one of your friends. So like, you got my birthday list, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of how you create a pin board.
Yes.
Pinterest,
Yes.
and you
Kind of
send
like
it in.
Pinterest.
Interesting.
A mix of Amazon wishlist and Pinterest.
Yeah. Although I don't think of Facebook as somewhere I gather that kind of information.
But it makes a lot of sense because so much of Facebook is either messaging people and being in groups, etc., or keeping up with your family and your friends. So
True.
especially during this time of year, if you put up a list on Facebook, your family's going to most likely see it. So they might not open that Amazon wish list link, but hey, if it's on Facebook, they're probably going to check it out. So it could be, I guess, could be used as a wedding registry. Would be another great way
Yes,
to do
that's a
it.
good way.
It seems like actually seems like a very, very smart tool.
That's what I'm saying. I think
Honestly.
this one has the potential to really catch on.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Because you're always, even when you see a product, you'll see people tagging their friends so they can say, oh, I want this for my birthday, or whatever the case may be. And we're already doing so many things on Facebook already. It makes sense to be able to share what you want your wish list.
And imagine if you're a brand and you see somebody has one of your items on the wish list. That's incredible engagement. That's a great time to go in and talk to them or engage them with sales, etc. But yeah, that could be huge for businesses.
Or start putting out more content aimed at people adding it to their wish list, right? Format the content that way. Because what I end up doing is actually screenshotting a lot of things in my feed. I go, ooh, I want to see that again, right? And I'll screen, because the algorithm, the way it works, I don't know if I'll find that post again, right? And so I do end up screenshotting and saving a lot of content. Maybe this is a way that brands can play into that tendency and say, here's our top 5 Christmas items for you to add to your collection.
I'm going to go out on a limb and make a prediction.
Uh-oh.
In 6 months to a year, depending on how successful this is, they're going to give you an option to be able to add to Facebook list when you're shopping online. Or if you're on Facebook.
It'll be Facebook collections.
Yes.
Yes,
Or if you're
add
like
to a
going
collection.
through your timeline and one of your friends posts a picture of X, Y, or Z, and you're going to be able to add it to your list.
So you think this is going to be like the pin it button is now?
I think so.
Because every website has the pin it button, right? If I'm surfing, I can pin things. So yeah, add to the collection.
I think that's going to show up.
I could see that. I could see that. Okay, we're on your team. Kim and I are going to bet against you. So we'll see how that works out. And it's holiday time, so I wish they already had it. I could have collaborated, compiled quite a list by now.
Right.
All right. Cool. Well, speaking of Facebook, I know it's a channel that you really enjoy and you use a lot for your clients. But one of the things we're seeing become more popular now is Facebook groups. So not just a fan page or a business page, but actually using a group for business.
Right, and sort of like I said, a lot of people, they use it to keep up with family, but a lot of people's main interest in Facebook is using groups. And I think that I've even noticed myself, without much conscious effort, that I'm more invested in groups and more involved in groups than I am in anything else on Facebook. And the reason is, it's very much a community. It's kind of nice being able to have an area where everyone has the same interests, which we all obviously love, and just like with fan pages we don't want to talk about, but with groups it gives you the ability to become sort of an authority in what you're doing.
Okay,
And I
talk
think
more about that.
That's when you're in a Facebook group, and I think when you're a business or a brand or somebody that's in our business, we're talking social media, being in a group that is social media questions or social media marketing tips, things like that, you're acting as yourself primarily.
Yeah.
And you're able to just share information with people, to talk to people, not just get ideas, but to sort of build up your cachet with who people are in the group, and they know to go to you, to listen to you, and sort of like being a hot poster on Reddit, where people can know that you're one of those people that they're going to go to. So one of the biggest strengths is when you are a brand, whether you're acting as yourself or your brand, is to be able to go in and talk to people and engage with people. And since you already have that shared interest, you know what the topic's going to be. You're not kind of just diving in cold. People are coming here for this information. And so that just gives you a great way to act as a person and as a conduit for information to build authority. And that, I think, is something that most people don't do. Just posting on your own page, great, but...
Well, let's talk a little bit about the nuts and bolts, because I'm with you. I like groups for the knowledge share, right? A lot of people asking questions, a lot of people providing answers. It's not so much like brand talking to the fans, it's more everybody talking together. But you can't enter a group as a business.
Right.
So are you saying that the business owner or a business representative has to be a person in the group on behalf of the business?
Yes. And I think a lot of people, especially small businesses, I mean, 90% of the time, small business, you're going to be the face of your company. You're going to be a person, or your employees are going to be acting as your conduit. They're going to be speaking for you. So that goes a very long way in making your brand, and we've talked about this 100 times. It's not just the brand, it's not just what you're selling, it's who you are. It's giving yourself a personality, it's giving your brand a voice, and that helps you become real. So when you do post a piece of content in your Facebook page and you link to your website in that group, people aren't going to be like, oh, they're spamming, oh, they're just trying to, and he's trying to sell me something. They're going to know that you're providing something of value.
So one of my personal rules for LinkedIn groups, which is the first place we really saw groups get big, is join groups of your target audience, right? Look for groups where the people you're trying to talk to are hanging out, and be a resource for them. Answer questions, provide information, join that conversation. And so I'll give you an example of people who did that well today. So I was on Facebook right before this show, and I need to paint my condo in California. I need a painter. I don't know who to call. And so I went in one of the local resident groups that I'm a member of on Facebook, and I said, hey, does anybody have a recommendation for a painter? And I got lots and lots of responses, which always you do, but some of them were people, to your point, who say, oh, I work at XYZ painting company, here's our phone number, or hey, I'm an individual who does painting on the side, let me help you.
Right.
And so as a business, groups of your target audience are a really good place to sort of be part of that conversation, watch the content, and chime in when you can.
Right.
And the other thing that happened in my post was that a lot of people who had just had their houses painted recently chimed in and said, oh, I used ABC plumbing or painting, you should call them. So I think the other reason businesses need to not ignore groups is that it's a huge platform for people to sing your praises, for that social proof aspect where people give you reviews.
What a lot of people don't understand is there's over 2 billion people on Facebook. We
Right.
know that number. About 1.4 billion of those people use groups daily.
Really?
Those people are invested in groups.
That's
so,
a lot. But I mean, I do. You do.
Exactly.
Henry and groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
I mean,
right.
we all do.
Yeah, exactly. And it's such a common thing. Like most of your users are on there. So not only are you targeting them through your Facebook page and you're doing your ads and everything like you should be, but you have this whole audience, and that is an audience that wants your information. And that's the thing, is you're not just going after everybody, you're going after people that are searching you up.
And something else that I noticed for Facebook groups, because like you said, I'm active in a lot of Facebook groups too, is that they also give some users a certain like little star badge to let you know that they're a top contributor, meaning that they engage a lot, or that they are the admin, or something like that, letting you know if you're a business owner, you can seek that person if you're looking for brand ambassadors or someone who's an expert. Maybe you're looking for guest bloggers or anything like that. You can connect with those people you know who to connect with, because Facebook kind of gives you that little badge to let you know this person is very active, so they're probably going to have something to say majority of the time.
So you're looking for people that are outspoken and really involved in the community to then represent your company.
Right.
Because those are also the people that the people in the group will remember. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they I've seen the little coffee cup conversation starter badge. And
Oh,
there's,
yes,
different
yes.
groups do different things, and so that's excellent to look out for. One of the detriments of Facebook groups, and this is something that we see a lot, is people think of it as this is my spot and my time to self-promote.
Yes. Sell.
Yeah, like you kind of said, if you're just going in and you're spamming links to your page, you're going to be banned from the page most
Right.
likely, but no one's going to care, which is why being in a Facebook group isn't about posting, it's about engaging, it's about talking, it's
Responding, right?
yes, making sure that you are talking to people and you're engaged in these conversations. You obviously be nice, polite, like you represent yourself well, but you need to think of yourself as being part of a community, not necessarily trying to sell your brand.
Let's talk also about, is it a good idea as a business to start a group, to own a group, right? There are certain times when that works really well. So this residence group I'm in for Aliso Viejo, which is where I live, it was started by a realtor. Pretty smart,
There you
right?
go.
A whole bunch of people in Aliso Viejo. I mean, the group's got thousands of members. It's a very active group. And the thing I love about it is she doesn't promote herself as a realtor, but she's the admin of the group. And, you know, you kind of click on profiles, you check out who people are,
Yeah.
and, like, you get to know her, right? I feel like I've never met this person, but if you asked me about her sense of humor or, you know, the kinds of things she's into, I could tell you those things about this stranger.
Right.
Maybe that builds know, like, and trust, right? And so if you are a business owner, maybe you start a group that's around your area of expertise that, like, allows you to sort of engage people who are interested in that bigger topic. Right? It's not for selling, but it's for gathering conversations about your area of expertise that then you could contribute to.
Yeah.
Right?
And they'll remember you. People will know you, who your brand is. They'll think, and just like the woman that owns the group for you, like if you needed a realtor, I'm sure she's going to be on your list of people to look up and people to check out, and you're going to remember who she is, and that's huge.
Well, the other thing is we work with a lot of fitness clients, and one of the smartest things that I've seen recently, and yes, I participate, is a group that's about exercising every day in December. Because, you know, we all let ourselves go over the holidays, right? We're eating, we're hanging out, we're stressed, we're not going to the gym. And this particular entity said, let's make a group for everybody who wants to hold each other accountable, and we're going to exercise every day, December 1st through December 31st. That's a great group for somebody in the fitness industry to join.
Exactly.
You know, you're just like, it's camaraderie, you're getting people in there. But this person happens to own a gym who runs the group, but we don't talk about the gym. Right? We talk about holding each other accountable for doing something good for ourselves.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that's good marketing.
And I think the more you engage as the person who he owns the gym, he or she owns the gym, then she can, you know, she's engaging, she's providing tips. If she's starting those conversations, then eventually people will come to her, maybe even privately, if they don't feel comfortable in the group, to say, hey, you know, I really like all the tips that you have. I'd love to work out with you. Hey, by the way, in that private message, I own this gym, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you something else that's smart. In the group, we are encouraged to share pictures of us working out every day. Not mirror selfies, but like, hey, I just finished spin class, and you take a selfie. And so she's sharing pictures of herself in her facility. Looks really nice. I get to see the classes that are there. Like, it's marketing, right?
She starts
And
running.
yet so subtle.
She starts running ads for New Year's Day sales, etc.
Right.
People are going to be like, oh right, I know her. Oh right, I remember her, and that is when you see the value start coming back in.
Well, and the other thing is, December 31st, when the challenge is over, am I going to, like, dump the group? No, probably not. I'll just forget about it. I'll go about my business. So let's say she had new classes starting in March. Could she post in there to an active audience who knew who she was? Boy, she could.
Exactly.
Yeah. So a lot of good marketing groups.
Yes. Yeah.
What else? Adam, anything else we should be aware of?
That's really the main key is, again, make sure that you're not being self-promotional, that you are a resource and a value, and that when you post content, it is valuable content. Again, never just post a blog about some unrelated topic because it's on your website. Don't try to put something in that's completely off topic. And a really good rule of thumb is, especially if you're new to a group, talk to the admins and then make sure that they're okay with you posting content to your own website, make those inroads and connections, and if you can't, that's fine, you're going to still get your value out, and if you can, great. Just make sure that you are seen as a valuable member and you keep that reputation up.
All right. I don't know if you watching out there can hear it, but Finn is in my lap, snoring his little heart out. Can you hear him? I'm
He's
like,
very
oh,
happy to
Adam, he is not into your group's discussion. Finn, you okay? Finn the Wonder Dog, of course, our little Boston Terrier here. You can't see him because I'd have to wake him up, but at the end he'll say hello. So this time of year is really busy. We're all talking about how it's a little bit crazy. We're running around, and people are worried about getting through the holidays. But I think what we don't worry about enough is getting into the new year, because it's Q4 and it'll be Q1 before you know it, and you got to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
One of the reasons this is such a busy time for us is people come to us to try to get their marketing plans, their digital plans, in place before the start of the year. And so Kim, you've been thinking recently about what should we be doing to get ready for 2019 and to make sure we have a strong digital or social strategy in place before the clock strikes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, talk to us about that.
And it's so timely that we were talking about Facebook groups and industries, business owners going into those groups and engaging, because one thing that was one of the predictions of what a lot of people would be doing in 2019 is putting a personality behind their brand. So personal branding within businesses.
Yeah.
So
being more visible as the owner.
Yes,
Yeah.
being more visible as the owner, having that face so you can have that relatability. And be and the business themselves can have that connection. Building that connection and having that relatability is something that I think they said is going to definitely we're going to skyrocket. I'm starting to see it more now as well. That's why you see a lot of podcasts, a lot of when they're doing Facebook Lives, like what we're doing here, they're connecting with that person on the camera or their voice over a podcast. So that's definitely one of the trends that's going to go up and up. And I'm kind of excited about that because I like the idea of talking to someone personally or just having in my mind who I'm talking to.
Well, especially small business or local business, that's huge, right?
Yeah.
People do business with people they know, like, and trust. And so can you represent your business more in the community, and can you create content that lets people behind the curtain, so to speak?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
And then kind of going along with that and putting more faces within your brand and what you're sharing, user-generated content. Of course, I absolutely love it. A lot of brands do it, and for good reason. It's great to not just boast about your content or your product or services, but to have other people talking about it. That's why they have testimonials, and you're reposting that content at your brand that someone that's using your product or service is doing as well. Because it's providing that relatability again, where it's not just me talking about it, here's actual proof that it works. That's why we're so big on reviews and those kind of things, and sharing that kind of content on your page is important. So I definitely think we're going to continue to see that in 2019. It's going to be important.
Well, I think one of the questions that a lot of business owners have is, okay, I know that user-generated content is important. I know it's important for other people to say things, but, like, how do I get it? You know, like, what if you just have a business and you don't know if people are out there talking about it? Let's talk about ways you can encourage user-generated content.
Yeah, of course. Asking questions. Making sure you're on top of certain trends of where are people talking about your brand specifically. Are they more so on Instagram? Maybe I should be putting a lot of my marketing efforts there to engage with people, looking at various hashtags that they're using as well. Maybe they already have a hashtag for your product or service already. We've noticed that a lot when we have new clients coming in. It's like, oh, there are 12,000 people already using a hashtag you didn't even know existed.
Related to your business,
Yeah.
You can create. So I think one tactic is creating your own hashtag and encouraging people to use it. But the other is search for related words. Maybe people are tagging, about you. We just had that experience, didn't we?
Yeah.
Or we started with a new client and they were like, well, how are we going to get content? And we searched the hashtag and here are 12,000 posts about you. All positive. I mean, good posts. But they didn't know it existed.
Yeah.
And now they never have to create another Instagram picture in their life.
No.
Just kidding. They will. But there's a pool, right?
Yeah, at least to start with.
Yeah, okay. So encourage people to do it. Give them a hashtag, search for other hashtags. I think also using it and sharing it encourages people to do more of it, right? By borrowing that content and publicizing it on your brand channels and giving shout outs to the people who posted it, you encourage others to do the same.
Yeah, they like the spotlight that a huge brand shouted them out, and now all of their friends know who they are. Everybody likes a little bit of that spotlight.
Or even a small brand. Like, I'll take any brand I can get.
Yeah.
You know? All right, what else? What else are we going to see in 2019?
More videos. Of course, we know Facebook,
Videos,
even LinkedIn now is rewarding you for native videos, Facebook Live. We're going to start to see that more and more. And I actually saw something really cool I was sharing with Adam earlier, was that by 2020, I think it was 82% of internet traffic will be video content.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe
I
it.
definitely believe it. And even marketers are saying that 97% of them, from a study that I read, said that it helped their consumers understand their brand, which is really important. it's really important that they understand.
Well, I don't have stats in my head, but there's a lot of stats that say if a consumer watches a video about a product, they're more likely to buy the
Yes.
product, right? Video is a sales tool, it's an understanding tool. Go home today after you finish watching our Facebook Live, scroll through your Facebook feed, notice how much of that content
Yes.
is video now.
And,
So much.
And by video, it isn't necessarily you need to hire a videographer and bring in a professional team. Like even video content that's on your phone, video content like this, like doing Facebook Lives.
Sure.
Video content can come in multiple forms, and so
Yeah.
all of that is relevant. So don't think that you have to go out and have a fancy camera or hire anybody professional. You can do this for free and capitalize on the content.
Little time investment, that's
Mhm,
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? No, I think you're right. And I think sometimes authentic or gritty video, is
Yeah.
is better in a lot of ways.
For sure.
Right? We see a lot of like selfie Facebook Live
Yeah.
content that's effective.
And-
Maybe on a behind the scenes
And
tour
apps
somewhere.
like Snapchat, they have to be on your phone. Like Instagram,
Right.
it has to be on your phone. So
Right.
yeah, we're just definitely don't be scared off by the idea of too much video content because it is actually pretty easy to make as long as you take the time to do it.
Yeah, it creates that transparency between the brand or that influencer or whoever, between that person and the viewer. It creates that transparency, and especially with live video, which of course we're going to start to see more and more of, is that they have the ability to chat with you live. You can actually answer questions live, and it kind of gives them an even closer connection of like, oh wow, they answered my question on Facebook Live, or whatever whatever the topic is of, oh, we saw your thing, at 123 go live or whatever their tag is, like they like
Right.
having that engagement. You don't have to wait for it. It's right there.
Well, and I like the idea of seeing someone's face and hearing their voice and seeing their mannerisms and
Mhm.
like getting to know them that way. It does build more of an emotional connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, video is big, live streaming is big. We knew in 2018, it's going to continue in 2019.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool. So the time to be incorporating some of these things into your strategy is now,
Yes.
right? Don't wait.
Mhm.
Maybe you'll have a few days off next week. You could be thinking about your social strategy for 2019.
But every Christmas party that you have and all of the work events and the potlucks and things, that should be video. Get some shots, jump on Facebook Live,
Yeah, I don't know if we want every holiday party to be a video.
Well, yes, okay, good
Maybe
point.
appropriate.
The ones in the
holiday
office, the office
Right.
Christmas parties.
Okay, that's good. I'll
yeah,
go with that.
yeah.
All right. Good. And you guys, if you need help, if you want us to do an audit of your social media strategy, we like nothing better than that, except maybe making new strategies. So send us a note. You can email us tips@kwsmdigital.com, or you can write a comment in the comments of this video on Facebook. And we're happy to do a free audit of your social media and give you some recommendations for how to start 2019 strong and how to improve things a little bit, get a little better ROI on your social media. So reach out. Happy to help. In the meantime, we're going to go back to work, but you can find us here every Tuesday at 12:30 Pacific Time, 3:30 Eastern Time. And if you need more tips and advice in the meantime, a couple of resources for you. One is our blog. It's on our website, kwsmdigital.com. We write every single day, so there's lots of articles every week for you to read. We also have a YouTube channel called KWSM Team, and that one has past episodes of this show. It has our tip of the day videos, a ton of content for you to watch there. And then always, like I said, email us at tips@kwsmdigital.com. We'll be happy to answer your questions. And until then, we will see you next week.